In contemporary American society, the narratives surrounding acts of violence and their perpetrators tend to fluctuate based on the perceived legitimacy of the targets involved. The contrasting public reactions to Luigi Mangione's shooting of CEO Brian Thompson and Deobra Redden's assault on Judge Mary Kay Holthus highlight a significant dichotomy in how individuals respond to violence against figures of capitalism versus those within the judiciary. This disparity reveals a broader societal inclination to view capitalism as a more significant threat than statism, positing that state actors wield a dangerous degree of power and are often seen as untouchable within the context of statism. Luigi Mangione's actions against CEO Brian Thompson were met with a surprising degree of public admiration, positioning Mangione as a sort of folk hero for resisting corporate power. Conversely, Deobra Redden's assault on Judge Mary Kay Holthus elicited condemnation, underscoring a stark contrast in public sentiment. These divergent reactions highlight a systemic bias toward viewing corporate authority as the primary source of societal ills, while state authority, embodied by judges, remains largely insulated from critique. Judges, as members of the judicial branch, hold significant power over individuals' lives via legal interpretations, rulings, and sentencing. Judicial decisions are tantamount to political violence, both literal and figurative. Given that judges often intentionally disregard the law, the power of judges poses a substantial threat, as their authority allows them to decide matters of liberty, property, and justice. Unlike corporate CEOs, who operate within a competitive market environment subject to consumer choice and shareholder interests, judges operate within a state monopoly that is viewed as a legitimate authority. This perception creates a shield that protects judges from the kind of scrutiny that corporate leaders experience. Judges are afforded a significant degree of protection through doctrines such as absolute immunity, which shields them from personal liability for actions taken in their official capacities. This insulation from consequences fosters a dangerous environment where judicial misconduct can occur with little fear of repercussion. In this way, judges operate as state actors committing acts of violence, abstractions of authority perpetrated through legal means, often with an air of impunity. The government, as a representation of state authority, maintains a monopoly on the legitimate use of physical force. This principle underscores the idea that while individuals may resort to violence in an attempt to address grievances within a capitalist framework, systemic violence can be perpetuated by the state's legal apparatus. The ability of judges to enforce laws and interpret rights grants them a power that can lead to significant societal harm, often without accountability. According to Jean-Jacques Rousseau, when the state is tyrannical and the legal means of redress have been exhausted, the people have the right to take up arms. Rousseau's philosophy encapsulates the tumult of political change, particularly regarding the intricacies of using violence as a means of effecting transformation. His arguments offer a dual lens through which to examine the legitimacy of revolutionary violence. On one hand, as a moral necessity in overcoming tyranny, and on the other, as a potential harbinger of chaos. The contrasting public perceptions of Luigi Mangione and Deobra Redden illustrate a critical societal bias towards capitalism while maintaining a steadfast belief in the legitimacy of state authority. Judges, wielding their immense powers with protections afforded by the state, emerge as the more significant threat to the fabric of society. It is essential to recognize the capacity for violence inherent in state actors and the dangers of unchallenged authority within a system that prioritizes statism. To foster a more equitable society, it is necessary for citizens to question the foundations of power, whether rooted in capitalism or statism. and hold all authorities accountable, regardless of the legitimacy attributed to their roles. In contrast to the fervent scrutiny of capitalism, the role and power of the state apparatus often elude equivalent examination. Despite the significant power wielded by judges and other state actors, the state is often imbued with a sense of legitimacy that corporate leaders do not possess. The societal inclination to accept statism without question derives from historical narratives that paint the state as a protector of rights and freedoms, while capitalism becomes a target for criticism and antagonism. This binary perspective reduces a multifaceted issue into a simplistic dichotomy, presenting capitalism as the singular antagonist responsible for a myriad of societal problems. It portrays the state as an almost godlike entity, operating devoid of faults and criticisms. This view not only overlooks the nuanced interplay between economic and political systems, but also neglects to recognize the intricate dynamics of state power. By framing capitalism as the exclusive source of societal ills, this perspective fails to consider how government policies, regulations, and administrative actions can also contribute to or exacerbate these issues. The complexities of state power, its capacity for overreach, its varying degrees of effectiveness across different contexts, and its relationship with the capitalist economy are thus oversimplified. Moreover, this oversimplification can lead to a dangerous misunderstanding of the roles that both capitalism and the state play in shaping social outcomes. It can foster a lack of critical engagement with the institutions that govern our lives, encouraging a complacent attitude towards state authority, while also hindering a comprehensive examination of how economic systems function in tandem with political power. In short, the binary perspective strips away the layers of nuance essential for a genuine understanding of the systems at play, resulting in an inadequate analysis of the real drivers behind societal challenges.